Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Jay Parm, again, and today we're going to be talking about the new Choose Your Own Adventure Telltale style game Dispatch by Ad Hoc Studios. I recently just finished it up when the final 2 episodes came out, and I really just wanted to talk about it because I had a really good time. However, I feel as though it would probably be better suited as a TV show or an interactive TV show rather than a game. A little bit of history on Ad Hoc is that they're a studio that were established in 2018 by some devs from Ubisoft and Telltale and decided to make a new Telltale style game. Dispatch was announced back in 2024 at the Video Game Awards with not the most insane reception. It wasn't very loud at all. For me, though, I was really excited and I immediately put it on my wish list. I knew that I wanted something like a Telltale game again, and you're going to hear that word quite a bit in this video. It's something I wanted again, and something with superheroes in a different setting than we normally get, in a police station where you're dispatching heroes into danger. I think that's a really cool premise. A great idea, in fact. With that all being said, though, like I said earlier, I do think that this would have better fit as a TV show or an interactive TV show.
Ah, dang it. I'm gonna be late for band practice.
Unexpected things happen every day.
Man, can SDN help me out with this? It's blocking the driveway.
You can count on SDN to help lift the burdens life throws at us. Let SDN be your rock, so you can rock.
Let's start with the gameplay, or somewhat the lack thereof. I enjoyed what there was of the gameplay. There's only 3 real interactive things with the gameplay, and that is the dispatching itself, which you get to enjoy about 2 times per episode. Each is a shift. You have a morning and an afternoon shift. I think that if Ad Hoc Studios were to create a different game that was focused primarily on the dispatching, you could do a kind of sim-esque game where you're just doing this and adding more depth and mechanics to it. I felt as though that as the game went on, it never really got more difficult, and I found that I hit the max rank fairly early on in the episodes. And once the game felt like it was trying to challenge you through this dispatch, the game was already over, which was kind of a bummer because I just wanted to play more. Maybe one day they'll add an update where you can just do that aspect of the game, but I doubt it. The other mechanic in terms of gameplay in the game is hacking. This also changes over the course of the game by adding new and somewhat interesting ways of doing the hacks, whether it be messing with how you do your inputs, adding a virus in the game that can hunt you down and having to either avoid it or shock it, and searching for frequencies. These were kind of fun and not entirely challenging, and once again, I think that most players playing the game will not experience any trouble doing these. And last but not least, something that I have a love and hate relationship with is QuickTime events. Not because they're hard, but because I'm just kind of tired of seeing them, and it just feels like, well, we need to be engaging. This needs to be a game, so let's throw this in. QuickTime events show up in the beginning of the game to introduce you to the fact that they are there, but then once you hit the middle of the game, they don't show up for quite a long time. And I found myself at the end of the game having to lean back up in my chair during a scene because it showed up again, and I totally forgot that they were even happening. I think for something like a Telltale style game, it's almost mandatory that you have these QuickTime events. I just kind of wish that for Dispatch, they put a little bit more effort into them throughout the game and not just had it front loaded and then put at the end of the game. One of the most important things about these types of games is the story. And does it hold up? And is it something that has an impact on you at all? I would say that for Dispatch's story, it does. And it's a tale of growth. It's a tale of redemption and forgiveness, not only of other people, but of yourself as well. It also asks the question, what is it to be a hero? What is it to be a villain? Can a villain become a hero one day? There's going to be no story spoilers in this video, but I just want to say that it is a very enjoyable story that also doesn't have too many changes based on your decisions. I think the character you play as, Robert Robertson, is a great character for the player to experience the world in. You get to mold him morally and how he feels about being a superhero pretty early on. All the characters in the game have great personalities, while some shine more than others. I do have a problem with one of the characters, Invisigal, which I feel takes too much of the spotlight on the game and almost railroads the whole story around her, which makes it difficult to have and feel like you have any agency in the game. I won't spoil too much on the story, but I will say that it is good and it feels good when you hit the credits. As for a Telltale story game or type game, one of the most important things as well is the choices and how much they matter and impact the story and how many branching paths there are. Unfortunately, this is something that I feel is missing from Dispatch. Too often than not, I feel like my choices are just a different shade of paint on the reaction of the character that I'm talking to. For example, in some interactions with a character, you would respond and they would be sad. And if you were to do it again and pick the other option, they would just be sad with a different coat of paint. There, to me, seems to be only a handful of real decisions that you make in the game, and most of them are just the illusion of choice. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, being as Ad Hoc is a new studio and they're probably just trying to stretch their legs a little bit, but I would really hope that for future iterations of this game or other games like it by this studio, allow for choices to have a heavier impact on the outcome of the game, and not just the end, but also throughout the game as well. One of my favorite aspects of Dispatch was actually the episodic release schedule. Each week there were 2 episodes, and it allowed for time in between for players and fans alike to have discussion on what choices they made and what they think was going to happen next. This is why I feel like Dispatch could have been a TV show or an interactive TV show at that. It made me think of Black Mirror Bandersnatch, if you remember that, an episode of the series Black Mirror on Netflix where you got to make choices during the show that changed the outcome of the episode. I think Dispatch in that medium would have worked really well. Back to the TV schedule release, I just feel like it works so perfectly for it. Nowadays, most TV shows are released in bulk. You get the whole show and there's a discussion for maybe 2 days on the internet and then it's gone. All hype is gone. I like the ability to digest and chew on these episodes and talk with people about it. Once again, making it not really feel like a game, but more like a show. I had a really good time with this game. I think that it could be better, but it is Ad Hoc's first outing. It had a fantastic cast, some okay gameplay, and a great story. A lot of fans are speculating whether or not there's going to be a season 2, and for me, I personally hope that there isn't. I feel like what has been said and is done. Especially with how it ends, I think that we should just kind of move on and allow Ad Hoc to pick a different setting or maybe something in this world, but not with the same cast. I think you should also check this game out too. Have you played Dispatch? Have you watched a gameplay? What are your thoughts? I really would like to know. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to get future videos like this. My name is Jay Parm, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.